Looking at labour markets now, and we're looking at wage determination in perfectly competitive markets. So, just like anything with a perfectly competitive market, prices, or wages in this case, are going to be determined by the interaction of demand and supply. So it's where they meet each other. So that's going to be the quantity of labour employed in this market, and this is going to be the wage level. And this is the supply of labour, and this is the demand of labour. But when we look at it from an individual firm, and we can actually break down the demand a little bit more as well, we get a slightly different diagram. So because we're looking at perfectly competitive market, we're thinking about a labour market where there are lots of people willing to supply labour, and individually they don't have much control over the wage level, because individually, if they left the market, it wouldn't really dent the market or have a significant impact. So what we get is a perfectly elastic supply curve for labour, and what that means is that the average cost is also equal to the marginal cost of labour. So employing one additional more unit of labour would not have an impact on the wage level. You'd just be paying the going wage rate. Now, for the individual firm, what they have to take into account is how much more revenue this additional piece of labour, that sounds a bit mean to be talking about people of pieces of labour, but how much more revenue an additional unit of labour is going to bring in. And how they work that out is they're going to be thinking about, well, what is the marginal product? If I employ this additional person, how much more are they going to produce? But we need to put that in monetary terms, because that's just going to be kind of, I don't know, 5, 7, 8 units, whatever it is. You need to times it by the marginal revenue. How much extra more revenue is this person, each additional unit of output, how much marginal revenue is the additional revenue that you get from selling one additional unit of output. So if we times the additional output that unit of labour is going to be able to produce by the additional revenue that selling each one of those additional units of output is going to produce, we get what we call the marginal revenue product. Okay, and what happens is you get diminishing returns. At first, you actually get increasing returns. So this is this part here, as people, I should have done that in a different colour, as people, workers are able to work together, they gain from working in teams and those types of things. But after a certain point, the marginal revenue product starts to fall, because remember, we've got these fixed factors of production, and productivity is going to fall with each additional unit of labour that you're adding to your output, your operation. And so if you need to be reminded of that, have a look through the presentation of diminishing returns. It's the same concept as that marginal product falling. Okay, so this marginal revenue product is going to equal the demand curve for labour. So where demand hits supply, and remember, this is marginal revenue, and we've got marginal cost. So this is actually the profit maximising number of units of labour for the firm. That's going to equal the quantity of labour that they employ, and they're taking the wage rate, the going wage rate there. The market has determined that, so we knew that was going to be at the same level as it was in the market, but that would be the wage rate.